I've been DMing Genius for some time now, trying to get a little video on YouTube to explain lyrics to some of my songs, and they haven't hit me back. So I decided, you know what, we're gonna make our own thing. Call this Somewhat Intelligent, because it could be argued that I'm not a genius. New city, new friends, new web. Pay dues, but this life ain't simple. I wrote Limbo shortly after moving out here to California, maybe about 6 months after I moved out here. Before that, I lived in New York City for about 9 years, and this was a big change of pace for me coming out here. A lot of unexpected things. Didn't have a car in New York City. Thanks to my girlfriend, we have a car now out here in LA. And for a while, moving into a new place is just kind of trying to get a feel for where you are, make friends, meet people, understand your surroundings. And I'm terrible with directions. So it can be tough to feel like you're moving forward, especially when you're working for yourself, a recording artist. So I wrote this song then because I was kind of feeling like I was in a state of limbo at the time. I felt like that was a theme that kind of permeated through my whole mindset over the last year or so of just coming up in the music industry, seeing all these numbers on streaming platforms and YouTube and stuff like that, and then not seeing that, not finding that exact same amount of attention in the real world, and trying to understand, figuring out when it's all going to hit, when the feeling's going to hit. Howdy. Love you. And I just kind of was feeling like I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't feel like a rock star. I saw a couple songs hit 1 million streams on streaming platforms and stuff, but just didn't. I expected that feeling to hit at some point and be like, okay, now I get it. Now I'm here. Now this is who I am, as opposed to this little schmuck that I used to be. I am him no more. I am a god. But that feeling didn't come. And that state of limbo kind of turned into this song. Anyway, so it starts off with the chorus. New city, new friends, new whip. Pay dues, but it's not that simple. New change, but it came and went. Got me up late, spent nights in limbo. New city, new friends, new whip. Moved out to LA. Change of pace, change of world. And just started getting comfortable with that. And then kind of the second line goes back to the comparing that state of limbo, that immediate sense of feeling like you're in limbo, to that feeling that permeated throughout that period of time in my music industry. I've been paying my dues. I've been doing this for 12 plus years, writing songs, putting music out, performing, all this stuff. And I just didn't see it paying off at the rate that I thought it would. I didn't see the rewards for the hard work at the rate that I expected to. That's the hook. The verse, crazy how I'm still on my feet. Could have thrown a towel in and then admitted defeat. I feel like I could have given up any number of times. There's not a day that goes by where the thought doesn't pop in my head for at least a second of, maybe this is it. Maybe this is over. We had a good run. But then the obviously far more rational and sane version of myself comes in. That voice chimes in and says, no, you idiot. You're a goat. But it's always something new, and by the skin of my teeth, the good Lord looking down with his eye on me. For my whole life, I've just kind of had this theory about life that I'm gonna figure it out. Every time things get hard, I just always find a scheme to get by, find a solution to my problems, figure out a way to maneuver through it. And the things that are weighing heavily on my shoulders usually aren't as dramatic as they are in theory. Well, hi God, hope you got me on your iPod. Still a cynic, I only trust what I got. It's a callback to a Sci-Hi to Prince line from My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, where he says, if God had an iPod, I'd be on his playlist. But also, recently after dropping the song, I did get a phone call from God, and he said that he no longer has an iPod. He uses streaming services like the rest of us, but he's got me on his playlist. I blame the world for this bleak outlook, my eyes shot, but if I'm not who you pick, and I stop. In some capacity, I've always had a chip on my shoulder. Anybody that tells me you can't do something, I have to prove them wrong. And I often have a cynical mind state, and just like relationships sour over time. Not everything pans out in a positive way. That's just kind of me saying I blame the world for it. I blame the things that have happened to me, the circumstances I've had to deal with, blame that for my bleak outlook. My eyes shot. I've had glasses since I was 3 years old, and I'm sure I'd be considered legally blind without them. For the first 8 years of doing this, I couldn't get a song over 1,000 plays, and I just never really knew how that was going to happen. But when that did happen, that was a big eye-opening thing for me. It was like, all right, I could have stopped, but you picked this song, you like this music, so I'm gonna keep going with it. But it seems to be a pretty good fit. I always find $1 when I'm down to 2 cents. When I'm broke, when I got no money to my name, I've always had an idea. I've always had 2 cents. And I've always been able to find a way for $1. And no matter how I holler, they gon' follow my trend, swallow me, and then she swallow my kids. Little mama fixated on the life in the browser. Tell herself to pick some money means power. So she posing, taking photographs for hours to show herself off on the gram for some cowards. That's my gripe with social media and this. I mean, we spend all our time scrolling online, looking at this perfect image of what life is. It's easy to get a cynical mind state doing that and then comparing yourself to that. And that's just kind of like looking at a situation from a third person perspective of just, this is kind of what we all do. We all look at this as like, this is how life is, but it's not. Funny how there's two true sides to a fairy tale. Everything one wrong move from a burial. At any moment, things could end right here. You make the wrong move and off with your head. Redhead for the greenbacks like I'm Ariel. Fishtail into Panamera Park parallel. Very well. Redhead for the greenbacks. I'm hot-headed to get money. When I'm looking for money, I got a fire. I'm ready to go. Redhead for the greenbacks like I'm Ariel, the mermaid, da-da-da. And then I fishtail in the Panamera. Let's call back to that line. Park parallel very well. Good parallel, Parker. That's me breaking down the lyrics to the first verse and the chorus to my song Limbo. If you haven't streamed it yet, go check it out. If I should do more of these type videos, let me know so I can do more content like this. Thank you guys. I'm Lilo Key. Out.